na ye doba baako a friend no Pastor Gabriel Osei Entry or St. Mary's School class 1 and now all 6 years now in Finsia abema won Finsia your friend Pastor Gabriel Osei Entry. That should tell you something. Say divine blessing is upon him. And he baby one to pay piano. Yama happy belated birthday. If he ebusuafo ni nyina ho if you papa Ura Manase Osei Asante or Ghana National Fire Service and all my Mrs. Joyce Osei Asante awunyina usuyan nso ma happy belated birthday ni na koso ani sanso na Aisha Amoa we police ni o weja ena ya wawoda council unit for nyina asem kan kire so ma happy birthday na etsa na akwakoye no edusunya na semanka me mama anti akosu adomase lokosa na man kusunya ni anti akosu adomase lokosa no pay me mo ache na fe anti nyame na aye anti nyame na aye anti anopay mamu nyina achi pa e usunyan mafemu na meba ho amunsuro na ebe hwe mo pa enti na ebedi nkomo ne nkomodie no asamba ko ase yehwe ne ka wasam ne koso ka ayi nso atutoi CDC yiri efa ye no ebe edi nkomo ne nyina ne de videos no bi film no ma hwe CDC tie enso no tote ye no efi pa de abegu mbonten so no enye sem kuma kra ka kwan so nyina se coat akwan no akama se bi ni nkran ha bi enso no e de na tie no begu so na se so no twe na enete no wo a ka fa so a na da ne mfuturu tatatata enti ebekọ so atena se saa aban so aka ama so afọ hwe yen adan ne edwumedi ho nsenso ne afọ senso bo akekere se aban e de 400 million Ghana cedis ahwe drainage ho ensem ne ebisa se 400 million Ghana cedis no aso e de na aye eno mponi ena nso edi ekoi enti yebehwe na eno so ye di ho enkomo yi pa afi dia wo beye ne dia no so meye na sade wiemu eye Instagram pedemu kafo ede aba no Matthew 4 kire say de we de aba ekure comedies na ye mo ye hopa ne so no ebe topa enti se ebe topa na se kakra to ye ne ye hunu nse dia ene wa sambo no po sanse gates no kure mo choku as we speak nso ye to ye nse bi beto aka ho dia ye nyinyi mu ene da asembe papa na Achimota Forest nsami enwuyo ebinumu Sir John de na aba na wo mu ye hwehwemu osofo ahwe yesase nsam so kire se o ma ye hwehwemu ahunu se asase bia sa ani ho Sir John ni asase bia bibia te sa ne bi sase oni bibia te sa ede ne ba ne nsam asiemu wan ne ton ma no ono nko na watobi afi yesi ebeji de ye de gya no ye fa ma no ehun sem bebre enti se onti asie enti ene ye ka ne de anafo forofo nso bebre wo ho aye nim ye se nka ye mubobo mu nyina din wo mu atoto bi no won fom de mra ne ehunu ne enyi from nsem enti ene nkomo no ebedi akoricha fa ho pa afa dawro ba kwa se da obi ano asese nyina ye bo ede fa wo man no ne bambo ho bi ka ne bambo ho asem a na say na National Security Ministry ba bonten kire se sa ne pa bonifo di etuo ni asekan ne topai di ewui no wo mo ya mo hom so e wo man Ghana mu nti wo say say something hunu biribi a ka biribi ana hunu biribi na ka biribi eno ho da wubo eno so etesen so esese yetumi ede ne yebeye se amanfo so man nankasa aban ene bambofo beye ana me no mienu aga na ye dia no ede ne sese ye ahoho ewo mu no eni be na ese de hwe omo ye nuanu ma ye ga na fo nso a ebi a omo nso ye ne ma bi de bua sa nipa bonfo no ye be de yetumi hu omo nyina nti ene san komo no na ye be di no ene anope na ene wo mo aba fia me no be di nkomo ye Fred Agbanyo wo Deputy International Relation Director edema NDC amayuku no wono na otibi benkum so pe ana fi nana ya within a champion bansa jancho na ba ho
a champion ya me middle name
okay nana ya a champion jantoa wono a general secretary edema CPP. I'm 16 sanyo matida. In my pulling in my heart, also you need that team do team na ya wa ha and I feel Frederick Kofi Ameyaw and so head of communication Ghana permanent mission to the UN or no so a NPP ni mapa or no so we fear be for mamu nyina akwa bo bia boko de
bia boko
na na me hu wache o
ja last week pe no ama
but last week pe ebi wo
mo SSC ye na ye hwe
sa ebi din komo pa
John's lands no left
ebi din komo Fred leke
Yesu pa ma no veve me la gbe
na ma
do come ko samto do come as samto Ghana tola fukpe nto amalo fukpe gamel do come gamel do come no ru hwasi petro che yama ko yole me do ma gata dongo ha ta Ghana to ko bianto
emula modu
echi le jajale mo gble do come ganya no
ayo we dey oni sound na fo nche ba kwa me dey pan say we ndi femeto the view tin sa we are not say papa nya kakra pa me ti pa Kofi
eja
bibia boko
obade adom na busu amame me dana se bebi oduma bedu eni bebi odumi ko
odowoko
ai the Fred ya mama kai tama eye omampani John Evans atamos was no oba peace fm ubisa say no hot say ya or tallest bia eye abana yo bebubo ni nyina
esa wara na okwa betla Ghana akwa ya na mo adwuma America
na ya enti na ya mwa no
ama adwuma America abetla
adwuma na de ama ono
ewo New York
duty e de
yeah, me annual leave.
Now for that
3 months you do leave.
My year for over 3 years.
Oh, sir.
Yes, please.
Do yes, please.
3 months leave.
Your classroom, yes, please.
3 months leave.
Me buy any mama Matthias yes say, "Oh no, you him apre."
I'm here this.
Iti aja me ho ye.
Okay.
Onu nya sha na nya sa.
No say era ono ka say wo dey na say. Wo ni video mu.
Hey friend. No say that nya za.
Wo ni video mu no atumi ade wada say. Anyway. Eda mo say munya bre no maba na.
Very come to us and pass.
Hello me no.
Ye ni komo ye hwe na ye ni ko. Ya mama ncha sin frefru so. Kofi sorry Kofi. Say something. See something, say something. Campaign ya launch it. Me pese ya hwe no afa hodo bebre se de di kan. As on my America na watina. US nim say aman bia no de padodo se de fili kuru oman no mu eba. Omo ba dodo se na ekọ. Dodo se na eka. Omunim. Obo data ewo ko. On betumi de ehunu sa na mani nyina. Oman Ghana, you need data. You bet me can be a pen say we don't have any data to show say you were a whole 4 million and a waha. You the adwene in ebu. Say if I born for you come once a no. Omo de omo ne ye nefi baby ba. Ya share say they share ne sitie. Obia tumi wura ha bia kaka I remember brand na covid o ya say lockdown ya kurusu ya borders na ye nua no alata fo bebre bagana eno wo ho ye behwe no so na fa ya hwe say bebi a ye duro a national security etumi edi sansem abeto abonten a hye se enye ho campaign no ho something say enti as government ede na ye de afa we
eja mamincha o na mincha wa hwefo ene obi ebi o the TV na to ba otie na mincha minwa mpanifo ene ye hia e bedi nkomo Mami MPP phone na what we ye beto your original
chairmanship
I wish every aspirant one. And on behalf of the incoming chairman of the New Patriotic Party, when you young for yesterday na yesu in team that in team no hwam ma aspirants na ye bomb pa say ye beto abana wi no na bibia double call
I'm saying team one this is the 4th time
this will be the 5th time.
In the Toshu. So yes, in Imrini.
beyond Nimreni, and I think say
election be a more election be a Nimreni.
Na ye be
na fa na kon
Fred me na ye bi se masem Nsroma.
Oh me ka boa
and you Nimreni necessarily time no dey aso to break the 8 say MPP betimi ebubu mfie wotwe a eya amanyokom yenu yenya ebe hia eye kandifo bi ana dwemsani bi a sebi said the Fred kind resilience, commitment, loyalty, long suffering. I think that he will be a unifier, and that is what is required for a breaking the 8. And I think that Abraba Wabo a dance, you know, MPP for a 2 and 4 years and 4 no fan to Abamano.
Okay.
But Rakom now.
Yes, sir.
The woman is a Osha see with a statistics be I think that I need to address the US more full data of omo ba and omo ko radio me senior sanity US doesn't have that it's say oko omo borders na ye wo Mexico for Latinos omo fa in fact so be kind maybe after 2014 Ghana called Brazil by US for sanction say also ye more data be and I record that was sometime 2019 na ma share juma se from because they felt say Ghana for be aboy with US or man fan character ambantino by nhwehwem no e say they were people who came from the border from Mexico, Brazil. So US necessarily doesn't have those data.
That maybe now what the to ye dey what the
I'll get there.
What said one border no say the city how the to ye dey ho okay
ebio say overshare we are talking about security so I want us to be holistic say we share 9/11 adia idi US nya di we are senior pan no omo be yes anyamra sem they are Al-Qaeda omo ba he they didn't come through the US borders illegally omo fa no omo free visa be holiday maker visa and also UK for issue bi e ma me kra me nya bi 2 years ko di UK the US introduced that particular visa where it to come to the US for 2 years to work and that's on the coast school no na sa Al-Qaeda for no dey call US omo timi nya akonya ko fa plane of Boston Logan Airport echo crash Twin Tower no. So I just want to set the tone so that it will not just be say omo infiltrating into our system illegally linkwana omo betimi akose habo campaign cost the boy cost say uhu bibia kan bibi no I think say ehun be hia kopim say o hwe tutuafo terrorist kwa be kan twi mu say na omo nyumadie na omo die no. Now if you look at the history we share the collapse of another war, the Gulf War, a collapse of the Soviet Union, Kokon War, Afghanistan, Iraq, eventually. Al-Qaeda by Osama bin Laden by after almost 10 years. Omutiminya no two so omukun. And ISIS so ye de buy. What I say? ISIS so Trump buy penny or da no. So if now unti ISIS for Kebio. So when you go to the Middle East, and you go to tourists for activities in Europe and in America, Ubemu say abafo. Now why they are targeting no the African countries? Again, the man who say the missionaries that were used for Libyan overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi. Those people no ICC omunye jumanye. So they are being employed by some people for their own economic and political benefit and interest. And I'm also go down to the Sahel. I'm talking about Mali and Nsroma. Now, I'm going to about because and I know say Mali there has been an activity of terrorism activities or an attack. Oko even Benin, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. I'm experiencing one form of attack or the other. That is why now no Ghana no are dangerous. Now the question really is a dear ma san kofo nya nyina so. Emo mu yes anyam rasem na na so mu di try to trust. Economic reasons, social and political reasons. Economic reasons say ebia humanity kasem e form kakra na enyoma mu dia. Ye other people say bi they think say ebia afi na meko ye campaign ama ya to me so aba na ohwa ontimi looking at how your political system no etie no ntino na obefa saa nipa bone for no wa employ then they will do some of these things and eventually one lucky and cool crash abefem. Again, you also look at the political reasons and economic reasons. So I can compare say kobasa na it makes the grounds very fertile. Emma timemufo to use timemufo because unmebunu no enye human yet na ofie no onye hwe na nipa bonifu ebe approach omo na opesika bi kakra and almost they are really resource and finance ti owosika obetimi ama ode wasitema you okay just for you to do what sometimes you might not even carry a bomb or even carry a gun betimi are soliciting information here and there everywhere. So when you look at these things a contributing factor, then you look at the political reasons. So in recent times, especially the opposition, omo kasa no enye de emrantie bi ni mmaba wa bi so kasa no enye de na akoye se oman no ye ka bi mamin ka bi no yen hye dan tonkone na yemfa a police fo anase ya srafo na omo boye ho ban no se bi ebi mu kra timi ka se sebi omo ye mbeda dodo na omo ankasa kra bitimi aba be ye omo beti etua ne de ade sa kasa no nye kasa pa se oman ni mu se de aye no de wanhwe a ku besi wanhwe a nipa boni for sa kasa no broni beka fertile grounds for these activities to be perpetuated. And I think say as a country both political divide no do san komodie we ma yen sipi yen bridge na yes say in whatever form it will take no yempe. That is why I'll commend the former president. Oman election be cross Ghana at the crossroads. Ocean paragraph for baby. He stated say our democracy, no matter how imperfect it's no, mo bia attempt to say obey young bibi. So I believe say yen komodie no so no yema ehun banya. Then another point no the media. Sensationalism no ya dosu. E do maybe you need information no, but in a rush to ensure say you benya traffic. Amanfo be kan ye da ubo anasi o mbeka online akan ye nyoma no na ye di nyoma bi. For example, this morning when I was coming, there is this online bloggers bi or dey ato abontia yes John baby or ye adwuma o baby kasi wa ye tam any ade. When you pitch political individuals and now nkofo a say bi omo enye omo ho kakra against the society, especially ye wo oman a say bi ohia edoso adokoro ye na it's a fertile ground for these individuals no ebeba be nyamras because they will have a reason. It's not so because no where did DJ way and until no ene yentu atua what I say. And on this note I will want to advise political actors NDC MPP mpanifo a ya ye ba TV suni radio so be kasa no yemma ye bambo enye sonko yemmia ye bambo mu ye bambo ayenhye mu kene is say me madwen no nkomodi e koso no and from what I have learnt no also ye my security e koso is say nkomodi no nkokama and utie experts no de omo kana Ghana we are not that immune ye bonya me mpaye aban obi say aban de aban aye ebio mekoma chi kakra no maka say NDC aban sha say the CCTV ko ye borders na around onyonyamfo ye kanda pa abaye wahye mu kina ya ye ni bebre ene akande bebre ni akode bebre de ama ya srafo also am de boy ho ban ba me nka say no ye na because US minimo bi o wa akode ni akande se no mo say bo mo ho ban but nkofo bi tu o so sa ene ade UK kran nkofo bi tu o so sa Germany ye tu o so sa enti mesre campaign na ban de aba a ye border ro say o bibi aka bibi san say abrantie bi wo abawe bi wo a ebia na bra bo no hwe a bibi ntoyi ensisan bi aba ne komodie ne na monto bebi okọ emra oba ni sika semu ni ade no yenka asemu nye konkonsa for the is say ukọ amanone a some of these small informations no ne protection we can maybe no call Germany na safo o say bi ko bi punu mi refi nti na o say me twema ye deba ti me nam street ni so please for me ensa ebe jam me change bizam say me okay ana because probably obi akoka che omo say obi ni nam mantem ho a omo dwen say waye tototo nti ko bi se na sem nti ye hu bibi a yen kan bibi hu bibi na o kan bibi a say bi no nche say wo ye konkonsa na wo yi obi ama no nche say bi a wo boy ho ban say de be ya onipa bonefo bi tu ye so sa na yetimi aso nti de meka ne say aban na montuo ene aban bambone de me gidie mapa say a do baby appreciable, but we also have a responsibility.
Yes, what can say back could be say the bit to be so how we are bano. Uhia any ahuchire. Now can say what can say especially on my uhia adoso na adokro yen. That's exactly what you use.
Yes, true.
And it is uhia adoso na adokro yen ya. Emebunu no so na normally you use so mo de yes aniema no. And as is uhia ene ahuchire na adokro yen. Eden na ban se ye hu se eno eye oha betumi kwan ba ko betumi de aba pa eden na ban ye de attackle no se de be ya saa ahokyere na mabunu wo munti no mo betumi afiri mu no mo fom nkokodom sa kuwi
o se o se nka minyana nka eden na ban no aye ene de ogusu ye free SHS enye for political reasons alone enye for educational reasons alone it's also for security reasons. Esen se utimi nya bebunu no na owie eye JHS no na otimi konto aso school at least you've engaged that individual for 3 years at least one man no eni daso one man dachi at least one man no hope say enye den na se wan kosu apon kra no a with ento aso school qualification no utimi ekinya ho eye bibi ebi o wa bie na adwemu one man akenkan akonkan one man adwemu ado say o kan bibi obeti ase o man no do eso be wona komam esa so be kan hu say nya ban bi na so ma san ka bia me mama ana me papa want me inform am contract school so the sense of patriotism no will exist. Two, ye nuamo a omo wie nto ye asuapon a na be ye mfie mienu miensa enum na omo nya adwuma anye no it wasn't part of our manifesto. I'm talking about Nation Builders Corps NAPCO. A ban share say at least no around 100,000 young people in this country will be provided with jobs for 3 years. More job experience. Again, for 3 years, we're able to engage 100,000 people. One of them could have been a potential that's what government provided. A bill, part of the component of the e-levy is going to support the youth. Anything what you start no. Say they be a bebunu bi a say bi owo adwuma bi ana say owo enimdie bi wo adwuma bi ho no abaya na say obeso na say no so nya adwuma ye say when you now cost I think say it will contribute to mitigating the American say ebeye baby ana biaya
ni attack down so betumi agina so there say wo ka free senior high school asem na me dey my adwuma ba so bi say wo ma yes na me nyina I well educated. Say working kind or more background shares. Be no more year masters name and no yes education say who so be go school no enye yastic between the so aka say bia o tumi nya bibia tesa me ba enti eno wo ho na wo sa ka we be say napko yi say no say first year no na mo fa mabunu 100,000
yes
second year yantehwe no, third year yantehwe, fourth year yantehwe, fifth year yantehwe. It is our first 5 years ago, mabunu 100, you know. And no, I be able to make us there, say, and no abwa ama, ebia, sa nipa bonfui, umutu impenetrity. And now, one do a simple, and now, ye far one echo mainstream edumuankasa.
So, only security experts didn't come. There are reasons for all attacks. Their reasons are not the same. So ebia oko Middle East and Islamic countries now. Adia abema obiye tuetua no. Enye the same reason for Africa. So for ebia Middle East na Islamic countries now for even Europe, the attack is based on religion, purely religious factors. Religion. Ebia mo pese ye som no motokone ana empo no our way of life said ye tie no mo pese mo sesa no. A political reason, so those reasons are not the same reason for any attack in Africa. Africa, like I gave you, economic. So you look at the economic side. I am not sitting here, and I'm on to with respect to free SHS, with respect to NAPCO, and the Kika sacrosanct. But I'm saying, at least, and I'm on to apostle. That is why we are also, yes, sir, say, oh, Bibia can be. As I say, buy modern bonum quano, 18 what I say.
Nana,
yes,
they say, no, me who are, but she see something. Say something. And she see, you see. Now, Kofi raise topics issues by me and Sebi. Our cancer uhia eka ho. I manage the word patriotism. So on mine ho do. E wo ho. Idi kan. Ye on mine ho do na ye kan so no ya kan ni fu a ye se de odi akiri so de odi anim nante ye. Enti de odi ka eja wo fi na se eja ne da subampa dia e ma ne sua. Se eja ne da subampa dia nkwada no susua. Ya kan ni fu a edi anim na edi anim no. Sa oman ho do no wo mu obi na mame a meye timamuni no mesumatumi asua na afei ahokyira ye wo mu a Kofi kan wasem no eno eye ade ba ko mbetumi gina so de yesa nyama ne pa enti sa ahokyira ye wo mu ne sa ne ma me patriotism ahokyira ye wo mu ene man ho do ne sa ne ma no wo se bisa pa se de na se ye de fa ho de na be ye de fa ho na ye de akontia sa de pa bon foi
eja me da se anope me de nchia be ma me CPP for mpanyinfo nyina me leadership me youth organizer me national organizer me vice chairman me de nchia be ma obia me de nchia be ma me nuanu so a me ne omo ha Fred na Kofi the UN man who wants to stay in Ghana me de nchia so be ma na eja wo so me de nchia ma na de nchia ma despite group of companies na no pay me de nchia be ma Father Dixon ene of Kwame despite say wetimi create jobs Ghana for real jobs Ghana for any biaye nyami hran ene adwuma pa wo ye Ghana minu ampa chompe se me clear ade bi ma minu Kofi o se efe napco na eni wo mo manifesto me tro ha but job creation e wo mo manifesto napco enyina ho se oye napco eye job creation intino enu even though enye ti say the oka say nipa sen na free mu akọ proper jobs enye obi awie university so den hye napco mu oye underemployed intino napco on a larger scale was part of Omo manifesto job creation. This under 8 ultimate create job bia your manifesto na wo fulfill. Minu ampacho argument no. Yem fancy ye. We should process the argument very well. Ye were terrorism. Ye were coup. And ye were insurgency. Ye nisi ye mixing san. So waka se coup d'etat. And no comes out of frustration. In fire frustrated, almost feel say a bind in yadi. Inti no yenye den. In bi and take you over. One more will take you over with coup mono. One more you're polished and civilized. You share the history of coups in Ghana and Africa. A be a general be in a dear anymore. A be a brigadier general. So army numa, these are officers, fine polished officers. I want feel say be bim koye. Na oma take you over. Coup internal. Obi ntimi mfra ma no ne ema meye coup directly. Maybe omo be behind it no me push it. Insurgents be to say Arab Spring. Nkola enya adwuma nye. Omo wie free SHS be a problem ne wo nye JSS for. JSS for omo nim de. JSS for wie JSS na say at 13 14 wonim hwe. Owremu SS na after SS ho no ho na problem no. Ho ni insurgents no. A no dissatisfaction rioting ebufu otemasi o no na wo mu ye gidigidi so hwa spring ho ne free buy wo mu nya adwuma nye wo mu buofu na wo mu ko riot na wo mu ye dede na wo mu ko demonstrations eno ye different from terrorism. Terrorism ye cause obi gi bibidi o feel say ye ba be take over in a certain way. So what catch me say they be economic. America is one of the richest countries. Meanwhile, all my young terrorism how much change BBI. It is normally more political and religious. It is more political blocks that almost person will take you over. You show Boko Haram on Nigeria. Boko Haram is economic. And yes, a common day Boko Haram is mainly religious. A come sembe but say a here kura terrorism and thrive because it say a here because in nipa wo commitment nipa ewo ye friend is saying patriotism now what can Ghana for do mu kuro say terrorist be ba a outside infiltration na woma ba inside ababa be recruit. Say tourism says omo Ghana, what is the cost? I see a team who at the current, why do they want to come here? Who is responsible for it? What is adie here woma womo hwehwe? How are they going to do it? When is it going to happen? Is it going to be rampant? Is it going to be specific like BBC said 9/11? Boom. What's the one now who say a dan eko? How is it I want to necessary intelligence no etimi ba. Yen be vigilant o. But as I said, national security so timi e kire ye say me who bibi wo mo launch see whatever it is, you know. See something, say something. They said public education, which is good, and which I said here last week, said there should be a lot of public education. Adie me see, adie be na me see, adie na me say, adie na me hwe. So that even innocent person be a wode wax akahye na chi a walk obi ntimi nko kasa wo ye terrorist. Otimasi o. And terrorism, they just sometimes go ebufo ke obi timi e decide say ye ko bomb train station. Make a London bombings. It missed me by a second. It just missed me by a second because obi train me enemy kasai. By the time I realized the whole womb. Also they mentioned intino we should find out what is the cause. Terrorism I see or more by ye kind of terrorism at the end and conform more ban or more share. A dear bent in a Ghana aye more targets. One year dear who dominant or more food as I say, warm subjugating. A dear Benny ayen or kukumuntia amaya a target. We need to look at all these things because terrorism in your coup. Maybe out of that insurgency and I say maybe basa no coup betimiaba. Coup na jina ohia so terrorism no onfa ho say hia wa na say hia. Eye wodo ho akwadom bibi a me group we mempe. Ye pese ye baba beji maybe asum bi. Me nka kramo ye pese ye ji Kristo esi ha ye pese ye ji sum we esi ha ye pese ye ji aladura esi ha ye pese ye ji Hindu eno ye religious. Edie ben e wo hwa ye de ye ho akodom edie ben na mo wa ye pese ye beje mo wo gold bebre mo wo koko bebe mo dien. So we need to me dey bia me yes adie ba kwa misua wo school of journalism no any the W's, and if you apply it is your life. The W's now you check who, what, when, where, how with the H. It is how to me find it out, or you as how to me a check of all the W's. Do you guys? You do a SWOT analysis of the situation, and do a test as well. Where am I standing? So we are SWOT ni we are na bit me achira wo say ade no eyem say aha any free. Tnasidin because you can say a public education how do we even recognize terrorism? Time be ne nante ka be ne yemfa. So obi fraud say I always say ya kan trot for saying na a kind newspaper. Into obi tina trot mu na so wo bomb wo ne ho a. And normally no omo blase wo mo hu nyina o. E wo ba bia ne se ne esi ye no. Obetimi de akoshe conference center no de etimi blow. Obetimi de ahye no ho na bomb no hye no atena trotro mu no wa blow. So what kind of education are we see here vigilant that you know so government so a responsibility. So otimi kire yen say terrorism na ebasen. E de ben your intelligence akache say okay wenum ni group we na beba. Omo ba in this way, in this manner. And they say, Obi ashe black, Obi jina. Look, there's a terrorist that me any ni partner. Me, I have an experience. Me so and they are nice. Yes, and they are nice. My sister Biare wo London na me koko share no. The person na they be me kwa na me ba very late in the night because me call na me ba. The person na de bia mi si forma oni mi si no London bombings ne ba na the picture da ho But he was so nice to me as a woman, no, obe walking me, only me bedin komo. And I thought that every time I was looking forward, say me bad late around 11 and he would be around. But he was a tourist. What am I saying? Sitting in the bus, nobody recognized it. So what are we looking out for? What are we looking out for? So me name the color of a rotten tomato. How can I tell you the tomato is rotten? You need to be able to tell us in this your campaign, say, and as the public education goes on, look out for this, look out for that, look out for this. So that also, so fear stricken, say, time ben menantia is safe. Time ben, okay, ebi amunye safe because 9/11 happened during a week. Me kind na yet me ti office na mo free zones but me name boss ye hwe TV e be hwe say ayidan ye abu from. Everybody was wondering what it was. They were heading to the Pentagon. The whole America they entered. Into a dear ben pan ye betimi I make me believe say say ye positive ade ni ye between a coup and insurgents and terrorism.
Yeah, say now where you can see me say on my no who drives say yenya no one big and I say a foundation which we Nsroma sanya mano we be to me akwatia patriotism ni bi ho
patriotism dey ho Ghana for dom crow e dey benti na ono call ye UN what New York waba so be the holidays. How many people now
fufuo nti no buy
e say fufuo ni bi ho
ana cash
Tim.
O ti say because
that for us how
only be
so Central Park
yes
ahoya fa ma ahono bi admin fa
o say okoye wa ba o Ghana for bebre wa brochi a omo pefie aba sometimes so hu alatafo a wo nya omo adwen se omo pefie aba but Ghana ni bia be hu ni bia no wa ye adwuma se den wa brochi kra opeso oba Ghana. Intina me say me feel say sa section na e constitution no ma yes so obi ekuta se dual citizen no se den no e si etimi repeal ni etimi ma obi ayawo no Ghana ha de a wo ye Ghana ni de o so oba ba be som ne man as MP as president e si etimi ma no kwan because Ghana for person o mo ba fie and only che patriotism o mo ti Ghana ha kwa so do Ghana me de bia me ka say ubu say ase ye o mo di anim no o mo do Ghana no hwe obi ani ho o ware ne tanfo obie ni ho a oya na dwen so spend sika ba be di president otimase say president Rolling so president Kufuor president Atamil so president ye friend saying John Dramani Mahama president Nanado obie ni ho a wotan Ghana because ansa no in some omo kano sometimes they mean it because odo Ghana because otan Ghana going around doing campaign enye easy o yeah dear cry yeah easy any sika wo be spend ni at the petrol wo beto and if somebody decides to say the no ho asi wo be yes na at the cry wo ye no wo do Ghana but sometimes omunya kwotena akonwa no so a na nsem bebre na aye nwonwonan o ti dey mention nti no omo cry no they love Ghana omo no Ghana anko mama metena akonwa no so because enye easy you have to be close to maybe a politician but so I know what it is. It's not easy. And as I say, mayor politician, your life changes. Everything about you is different. Won't mean rubber be an uncle to me call Rafophobia now could do to me could near be away near my baby. So you're careful security when I'm now show it. What did they mention to be our why you're not going to me to me what was the mess from my mind or Dogana? Okay. But the point is that coming back to this terrorism, as I said, a lot of public education using the media, say Bianca no pay ya bay. Maybe near 10 minutes and now 5 minutes. Now you're the educating a dear Ben we look out for. A dear Ben says a huni pana wash will be rare baby a then what do you look at? Ultimately, the same woman has saying, except by now, you to make us somebody BBC or BB screening nipa because Nkofo Raha Obi Rama won't mean Miss Answer or and all these things, you know, measures I see public places. Your friend is saying lorry stations. What measures are we putting in place to ensure say terrorism will deal with it?
Okay. Nana Amidasi, Evo,
Ozi.
Ya kan nyina no. Ade na fiase firi baabi na duru baabi ayewe. Wo hwe a gathering of intelligence no. Enye ni nyina na yebetumi ahu. Ebi wo ha esisuma se. Ye mu binom ye nim de ayehu. Ene de yesu etumi abọ amane ene de tetete sa. Ade ba ko ebetumi ade ahaw ya ba ene se yebenya ne pa bi ya nkrofo a ebi esa ne ahokyire nti obdo mbọ kokose sa ne manmu bi. Ene e wante na ebi se eti ugidi se de na sese ye so man. Sese bebi a eduro no. Ye duro bebi a no hye pa de na se ye. Se de mo aka see something no. E de na odwini se se ye de count to me de boa.
Eja, me da se bebre. No one na check akra.
Me
Wo e fe yi.
That's it.
Na me chiama me. Ene me namesake Frederick. And I'm saying Scout Abenemunti, or something in America, Bagana. So I was over BDB.
Yes, sir.
So as soon as I met the incoming president, John Dramani Mahama, enemy party for penny for you now. Many about putting our order and ra. To swallow day. I wish him all the best in life. Last week, I can't want to deal with so. Kasafa, Nyakamaga Krabia Koso, Mimpotem, the Guan district. I don't run from this area. I can say now, DC and I are appointed on Obefimo Koye. Basically, as of the town speaking, you are appointing new DC.
Fredo Freeman,
Malon,
Anipa.
This is money.
MFA. Adom. Within the week now, you just say you are nominating me. I mean, Baba so MFA Dibo. Say Uncle Sherry. The better minister say you two from almost all my team. Best rest assemblyman be near say fata. Na ehia ne say mpuntudwa betima ba area ho. Enti na nyina kan bom na hwe kwa mefa so a ibia be kon jojo. Minister tena afamu de. Aka electoral commission wa ya so dey. Sa so na ye tene say. Enti onhwe na enimnim ya yenkezi constituency mai. Say be ya Sandro Fifo, Akpa Fifo, the lobby ne lekpefo so. Ye banya representation or parliament or Command if you are, Meda Minamase, Ekakai, Emma Milianiaba. Let me say academically, we handle the subjects very, very well. What Bomondia Church, the difference are a case coup d'etat, a case agency, a case terrorism, and a quite fast banning now watch it. I think it's a very good education right now. Menuya Kofi Osha say no now was expecting say and I'm the background be of Friday Brand. Now can really about discuss subject way without the usual day-to-day politicking. Unfortunately, we couldn't resist the temptation. Mr. Mabomi Homo de Biazan can resist it, but me na head and I'm saying you are kind. And if inadvertently I fall into the trap he set for me, pardon me and forgive me. It was not meant
to be so. Equalization.
It was not meant to be so. But he has invited me. I'm trying very hard to resist.
We invite you call him.
We invite you call him Fred.
You see, this
equalization.
Government.
Sir, yeah, but sir, now, I'm buying for the first time maybe in our history. I stand to be corrected. Now, a whole national security. About what you can say, hey, oh my God, baby, age now, Baby Edru no yen kwa modi tumi na share say yen bom ho ban no ye kwa ntimi nye bio ayede enti munyina no mo sori na mo mboa munyina no mo ti bibia mo ma yaso tentemara. This is the first time in my adult life Mati say ya do some purpose way as far as terrorism threat in your country now is concerned about this country. Now say security for eba bonten aba kaza say no nature ni omu huni ni omu nim no enye easy camera because onye nsem nyina bet media beto mountain but so much manya kudro now inviting the entire nation say please come on board. It tells me say there is so much that is going on, there is so much that they are privy to. Because about issues like this every time you stay in the country even know he said bibi sakoso because the security would have been able to manage it at their level, but for them to have descended from that level now calling on all of us, it is a serious subject. I am free SHS, I am NAPCO, and the betting so and that's what I'm saying. Say, I don't want to be dragged into that area. What you say? I say come come there, is it free SHS? Is it petrol bar cost ra? Is it free SHS? Is it terrorism bar? Is it free SHS? It's like a growing AD. You see NAPCO, you see NAPCO. What has it done to this country? Has it solved the problem? As you rightly said, say I'm banned on what GSS no. They don't think about rent. They don't think about school fees. They don't buy food. We feed them. And to know near cause any problem. And you need to university. No, bet next year 3 years, 4 years. As I say, I'm a mess of bread. And see, near crabby money bindi.
And now we assess a one twice. When you
how need future be it's as if the whole world is coming to an end for him. Some crofone na yet me recruiting into some of these things. As for me, those people have nothing to do with free SHS and that is Anyamanyamano. And nothing I would have thought said my brother should have elevated the conversation beyond that area.
So no so chere say sa niam na be bien kwara na adwene mu amomotumi ehunu niam baako menu miensa bia no pabon fo no be ya onso beti ohun pes no ne humesua ne nim de kakra bonya betumi aboa.
But she just told you, if you go to America, the average person with education, I bet me a church. Onim sanya men na they teach them in the schools and all of you, but it's still home. So it has nothing to do with one's ability to read or write. It goes beyond that.
But that was not my argument.
What he has here, but Jordan, we are not correct. Maybe you see, sometimes we may mean something in our minds, but when we communicate and the people listening to us, the way it came to them, no, sana, yeah, the best here. And see, my best friend, share, and son about me, especially, say I'm for free man on the actual share more mind. So, no. As I said, down the academic aspect of it, but the grounds in the country must be fertile to receive those things, and that is why, to an extent, many coffee bay address or can say the hardship in the country could be a catalyst, could be something that these weak people want to leverage on. Issues of religion, it cuts across the whole world. Ghana, by some divine arrangement, we are able to manage. Say, yeko a school, Kramoniti ha, Christianity ha, or Momon kwa, sorry, I don't believe in anything. Yen na come boom, we sleep in the same room, we sit in the same buses. Some parts of the world, and we have been able to manage it. Nonetheless, obi chinchin yenefe. Na Ghana crowd na Kramophone be a Christopher omoye say. To the extent that recently I see this cathedral, I'm told that the chief imam even donated to that cause. What is some of the Kramophone create say, what is that? Why are you donating to a Christian cause? We have had a situation where Christians donating to Muslim cause. Friends pray and fast. We all give sugar, we give rice, support them. We have agreed to coexist, regardless of our religious differences, whatever affiliation we have. Obiti amanone are an extremist. Onu ni sa nyanefe. Enti onu nya ya obe trash o man no so. Na sam pempemu na ewo mo ho no na ebi mbra. Hwe de bia me ka se oya ban a the number one responsibility you have is to provide peace and security to the nation you are governing. All other things hinge on peace and security. Peace and security are many man. And about the peace of mind to plan all the economic things that you are thinking about, every other thing that you want to do. But peace and security in what? And now not pay come make me now because can make me free me feel do me free. And it's very, very, very cardinal. And nothing in a democracy. The only thing you can assure, guarantee the citizen will say, "Oh, manya kwa aka near home." Make me bet now and no pay aka na make be bia ma me kwan na meka. Meka na ewo makuma so ne meyam no. Efiri mu. Basa mpenifo ka oka obika sabo de hye ne yema. They will find a way. They will explode. Ebi ekwa mefa so me explode no. Untimi contain bio. And in the democracy, it's always very dangerous. Say, Obi ko cancel a crape, na is a police for channel. Obi control Facebook, na is a police for channel. Gradually, you are introducing a culture of silence. So when the people don't have a means to communicate, to express themselves, to vent out their frustration, they will look for other means which may become very injurious to the nation. We need to be very careful. Now, the call that the security service is making to the private citizens of this country. As citizens, you benya GDA or security services. Me can't go see nyama bi ekoso na say wo nkranza. The trust, the confidence, na nka ye benya say asema to me dwena the call police work akobo na mane no. Some of these their actions really that effort. So be on fie based on suspects. And as one who gadget be okrum, no akọ ni fie akọfa no. At the police station, we are taking a statement. Allegedly, they are crime scene. The next one we heard the guy is gone. They are 22 years old. Now, and let's say, a better than that, what men are GDA or that same security company. So, I sent to me and I met you, and I will be na me call wa. Omunko reporting. And chair be brain and say, Blova BSS Kawo, Coliburia home. Acrophobic to show to police ni place to Kuno. Later we are told say the robbers plano na be a police force. And the police force to share mamu police ni enam scale be wienti ekun. If you have this type of characters in your security architecture, that is the number one danger that you have as a nation. Because Mona, these people can leverage on. They have all the information, the intelligence. And I'm so be persecuted. The young police airboss can't buy. We're afraid to no boom. Wanya. As a tourist, ni ban no promise no $1 million. So, coach, 100,000 Ghana cedis, $1 million on coach. Or better, arbitrate the entire nation. And so, which type of people do we have in our security services today is very, very key for the peace and security of this country moving forward. Yeah, we have a problem here. Nanaika, Tunisia, what happened? This is a young man or university. Also, you demand here. Or the Kwan or Tondia. After Francisco, the Petro Guneho. And no, they jadi to Notion home. That was the Arabs in that area. From Tunisia all the way to Egypt. There may be other remote causes. But that was the immediate cause, explain all the issue. It is sometimes, as some manners are buying up, a being as a Yamabi or as a government, you have the heart to tolerate. What you need to do as a government is to open your eyes. For that, TV so now I can't say, but I'm saying the next moment, basically, of them now police for necrophagy now. Those things are in the past. We can do our security work using intelligence than using force and vibrato. So I came come. And see, mestre, near Kosono, or America, minim Yamensa, Edayeso. Nasanya Mensa na I keep you up to this level. It is not necessarily because we have done anything good. Because many have Frederick Agaskai, Togo, so close to us. Udu, most part of Volta region, you wouldn't know the difference between Togo and Ghana. Obi, bedroom, or Ghana assassin. The kitchen, or Togo assassin. Nefu or Togo assassin. That's how it is over there. Now, so these things have happened in Togo. Burkina Faso, the same thing. Free from Boku all the way to Paga area. One part is in Togo, Burkina Faso, one part in Ghana. Esi ho. Cote d'Ivoire na be ohano. Oko aseha eponeda ho. As all of them alluded to, look at our borders, how porous they are. The people who entered Ghana and exit Ghana, do we know? Do we even know the total number of foreigners who live in our country? Yes, America may be a peculiar case because of their size and everything. But Ghana is a very small nation. The number of you can't be and you say the body the mobile. Me, you said that but at least at the age of 47 years, Martina Ghana. You be a moko a Krubiso, and that man are good. They abandoned the classrooms and abandoned work, and when they came back, the culture they brought. Oh, Ghana had affected the way Ghana used to be. Yeah. So I make a lot of I'm telling you.
And robbery.
These are things that were very alien to us. Ghana it's like petty TV also. But this armed robbery, we didn't know about it. What are we promoting on our televisions today? The kind of movies we watch. The only way you can succeed and make money, either you go for Sikadro or you go for robbery. And that is why unconsciously, Adekye and Kola agree. I don't know today could do a fee. Unkolai, they have access to all these gadgets. They have access to the internet. What are they watching? Who is monitoring? Who is checking? And so, man, I say, we want the best of things. But the things that are supposed to put in place to get the best of things, we are not putting them in place. Okay. And to me, baby, I want to know. Maybe a mesre, eba, seven yamen fabon, empire. It's here no pay no be better share her. Ebi eba em bisa say, end this new way, sleep new way, and I also now ye na. Ye can't nkrofo enam say they want to kill more people nti. Oftentimes, maybe nkrofo congregate be brain no. E ho na ye a omko attack. What are we putting in place in our churches? Ghana, your maya, your pastori, especially on Sundays. Okay, most of our cathedrals are mapping. What security arrangements do we have in our churches? Ghana, when it comes to our social gatherings, say a year back, the number of four echo share for a year, and you be security arrangements when they are war. Say a bear or being to be ever and share home. And then your months are coming up. I don't baby a month for a weekend or fan and band so young come on just to go and walk around the mosque. What security arrangements do we have? A lot of hotels are springing up around Accra. Who could do hotel what? A month for baby never that. Our house can be. Some microphone about that hotel honor and yet what background checks do we do on them? What screening do we do before we admit them into the hotels? Some young men, you know, the bench say start say. Yes, your borders no your best and nobody here be bring. Now, the citizenry can be as vigilant as they are. So security service no my SGD no. Go come me no tia ne. Me unso ye bi na nye. Say me call police di kra me suro. Because I shall me ko campe. Omo na be fa for afro say, oh for that go na be kan say. Na me ma be your target. Because you na tie fie mu enim. Obi o ho a anopa nyina onko bebia. Every day they are partying. Daytime adawa ba na e nom na e didi na e ji ni. Anadwo about 11-12 no na e pie. 4 by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock na asa be fie. We all see all these guys around town. Anadwo pia a lot of vehicles, nice cars, they congregate at pubs. We be saying Sankwa na eton ha na. Anna pub video ko do ha. The number of cars are lining up no. Go and investigate. Most of those places I tell you today, Okodua, they are dealing in drugs. They are doing all manner of things over there. And the governor of Bago congregate or yes, and the security services know about these things. They know. They know. Our police cannot say they don't know about these things. Our BNI, national security, they know about these things. And if someone percent Ghana should remain intact, they have a huge responsibility. I said yeah. Okay. But somebody must provide that leadership. And everything, the bar stops with the president. He appoints all the people in charge of the security architecture that we have. If they are not living up to their responsibility, he has a right to do the needful. And
but you need food but so
you never to one of you man, you're running to change. Yes, I can say. Paul Jan will say, please, good morning. And Anaya, can you please, hey, will be up our number. Also, no discussing something to discuss. For Jan Martin, Nanaya also good morning, Adekye. Hope all is well. Yeah, we are doing very fine. Adekye, you know Kumasi very well. And nowadays, around Amakum roundabout and Asawase stretch, there are plenty of children and their mothers. They're begging. Adekye, if I may ask, where are they where are their fathers? Where are they coming from? And how did they come? In fact, we are not safe. And King Sleepy KB, also good morning, and your guest. And I don't know if Ghanaians know what a national security threat is. It is our security agency. Threat is if our security agencies always bring their findings to the public, then to me they have failed. Next is Sanka so mudisiana. Same to me for the sir. A boy so much to me can you to me, born to me, echo anymore. Francis Kwete Nwete was a good morning. And Nana Jantua is full of brain. I always pay attention to her wisdom when I see her on set. There is some, what's he saying? Okay, they see something and say something must not be limited to only terrorists, but including armed robbery and other stuff like that. Okay, like that. So I can just say, and you have question Sandra also say good morning. We see a lot of foreigners in our community every day. Some are even shoemakers.
It's possible.
Me who back could be a baby, and a pabaya ediasan, and a papa no num upon smedunum. No more Nantua Bayer, a bebre ediasan. No more group of baby and cuckoo and a potato. I'm a bed one and I say, I ain't found no moko. This I don't know munum cocoa. And tea, and tea, I assemble back. I see to me, I can't want some pa. Young quite a fair time cosa. And there was somewhere here. You see, I can't then I say, we assume getting the way to me, and yeah, it's immediately.
Yes, one said, you're not party for me, Mammy Bearsima. Na main corrective back home, say, over Mammy Quindia. 1 minute.
Party for me,
I don't know any party.
So, many parties.
Say you pick it out to get to net or no. I just say it's not regardless if it's a political party.
Oh, Tobo.
So,
that's what you also do.
May establish, say, Bonivica, there's a nexus between. In any case, I commend Mema for the wonderful
we make Johnny from.
Oh, yeah, mommy, 1 minute. Let me make my point. There's a connection. In fact, there's a connection between insurgency, any coup, any terrorism. In fact, at some point in Ukraine, the US is trying to redefine what terrorism is. Because most of the time, you might think, say, be free baby, barbecue, Susan. But who will team them for so? It's need to.
Okay.
What I say. Import, mass shooting, yeah, Kokosu or USA, and BC. Some of them they want to reclassify it as terrorism. But I think that Fred can simply my hotel.
Yeah, no more share.
I can simply also a train drink. A man common here and so Latino on only air terrorism. Let's look at all other forms of violence. A bit to me, I'm more minor.
What can cry now? I Texas and when I brand 18 years.
19.
Oh, didn't birthday no go to you. Who school there you and any
now him say last month, Mammy be neba on one cousin to mark, grandma, can say over shooting. I'm a man, man, grandma, coy, I show me. And the another, but on the most also Freddie and the end person, Freddie ended by saying, say, so man penny to me, then.
No man penny, or say for no power you want so only the need for one has all man penny.
And he also made the point, say, on tin in penny semuda, say, I'm buying 18 bab on tin, But the point really is that July 2016, I was Black Star Square, when former President Dramani Mahama Ramadan was share a year Muslim phone. That was the same advice he gave to them and gave to the nation. So if today we are doing the same, why do you create the impression say you into me near man? I think say as much as possible. I listen. I'm
not. O say idea potty na Fred kan ya ama wo yi ano sa.
All shen nkomodi na say. Okay, say and now you just reiterated it. Say I say penifo na ye di adwuma ma wo. Omuntimi near adwuma. 1 2. You also mentioned the fact say until na bakosem don until in penny sem da. Say on manu penny for aba bontin abeka say ebia into and more way na ebia way there is a potential of air terrorism to happen in our country. That's one thing in penny sem da. One kasa. We don't kasa
security for me say let me say what I say.
Forget about
to repeat it.
Okay, okay,
now one. Okay, now one.
Mama can because what yes or no. What I'm you are saying what I said.
But what did you say?
So let me tell you what I said.
Say it.
Nyame can say. Since I may near me to your my way.
Okay.
Me who that said national security for Babe Fregana for said Yembe Buomo in solving the security issues.
And I'm also telling you the commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, who is the top of all security, called for Ghanaians to be vigilant, just like we are doing now. So what's the difference? That's the point I'm trying to establish. So don't create about no wait.
Also
he says I'm being partisan and political. I'm not. We are the government of the day. So if he be say anamontuo be na ban to it is my responsibility as a communicator for the government to tell the people what government that is not partisan.
Are you with the UN or you are the communicator for the government?
For now they are also banana. She said they were
director UN and as a communicator maybe
say we can government too. Working for the government. So I'm saying
so they are paying for communicating for the government.
I'm saying that.
I'm saying that. They try to cover communicating for the government.
Let me address one. As a government, who are we serving? It's not the people. So and then Kumodi Ayedi, who be saying anamontua abayetua. Na me ka dia anamontua abayetua.
What obi nka bibia fa wonti kwa
Fred can yes.
Okay.
Don't defend Fred.
Debbie o say me defend no.
Man.
Say
he's ignored.
No one.
O de wakana say me we say yeah.
Go fi me that say. What 1 minute some no dey other can. Nana ya chapter forest in 77.
Asem.
Any baby aye.
Asem oba ye de one no do be so.
Se ko fi me me pa obia o. Ati me pa obia.
Ati se upon bre na bambo ho asem na bibi ho hia pa ntia me ma. Ye kan bebre no se ne be ya. E betimi akwa.
But Jacob na de ba ko. Omo si say some. See some.
See some.
So some. You know, your friend is saying, who say na hen na uko say no.
999.
As a so multimedia rely.
That's a very important question.
Yes, because me kwa ko say. Why na me ko say amano? Because national security means me call home office. Hen fa na me ko say.
Very important question.
What you say? Is it e maybe kwa kiosk BCC baby yetimi atwa ho maybe national security alert bibi minim say na advertise me ko ho. Best friend number we reliable.
999 short 999.
Enti e won so kwa na mpo na minimum.
Or say say something. A Minister of National Security Citizen Campaign. Call 999 or speak to your community leader, local police chief. Local police chief and DCE.
Pacho yento aso.
Okay.
So who beside you and after that? How do you want it to be done?
Debbie na so anka hwe. Debbie osi ohiyanya na say na.
Me pacho me baby amete. Ni me community leader. Why community? Who is the community leader?
Assemblyman.
Ubeko Chiefs Palace kura na asa na be room just all the snap na eko. Eda na me say me koto snap ansa na makwa report.
O man no don't hear so to.
The midi kura den ma me na me say koto snap.
Who this is assembly?
Na wo kokora nipa no afre no ho no abo we ye ma wo hu no. Let me say partner me kata from evidence. We are friend this e wo hu o ma this e be election.
Na mo me mboa.
Never say there be so to me
aban bo ne ho mo.
Please Kofi. Ese wuti me create. That so
government US.
Ese who created the enabling environment. Ma akola keto akora betimi aye den afre.
Citizens are not like this.
Otimase. Because if we hear now we education and crofo picture, crofo texting, we hear education in there quite chira. Among for betting me, I what the message they say at the paper you. Some on top paper ya. And among for you radio into an opera a rear and you ran out both the woods and their conquer for us.
Say be on my lunch here or can be so.
But as a small to me, yeah, if you have some to paper ya, they are better nipa and never kind. And also nipa na will be friend on. What I say, why never fa? So maybe you more texting. Will be a texting no, and he found the beco. Ni important because also then make a choice. Sorry, my sorry, was a common. They say quite a launch campaign 1,000 for 1,000. Say 1,000 Ghanaians will be into 1,000 Ghana. Near Fentimini see or Yanko Pondine. What I say, Grace Baptist, a friend saying, a Sakumono. Now, when I know Yana, a
Wengan.
That Grace Baptist Sakumono. Eshe Juribe. A Baptist convention, sorry, Eshe Juribe. Your friend is saying, a fire service. Almost woman 2 million prank calls into no course maybe or how mom fat. We should look at all these things holistically because we are very important. Me pacho minya a Achimota forest, me they say minim the year count. Esisi a mehu si say Sir John oni asase wa Achimota Forest. But I am wondering, Achimota Forest no more can any forest no more. Maybe periphery lands now. I don't understand it. Me who well ne there. But maybe periphery lands now. I want no so yeah then will Toby. Because there should be some clarity. Say na asase na walk can our forest no more na. Ana say asase na we one chain no so atobi. Because asase na one chain na wo mo say peripheral lands no. Extend there to Christian village no me ho no mu nyina gempa no nyina aka ho. Achimota school, a 9 or which is which one are they talking about? A new bin water, and now say forest no moon water as you. Because as it stands, no, because you say Omunya who papers I see old family bills then and as I say a man lease or a mat title then a whole is still declared as Achimota Forest. Even the part that have been encroached. Last week we were here talking about it. So we need to find out to say forest. Yes, forest no more na. Forest no more what to anasa insase na one chain. Yen for argument into ye dey hen ye can say what asase no. Anasa a time frame or the asase no. Because what asase the asase to this ye ka government land bank of what to dey no bi amfa ne dey mra. Enye na say John na wi. Na obi ba begu nanim ase. Onipa wu de wawu. Obi biara wato se sa na ye kan me hu se minister ne sin wo mo ba jinsa ase na free crofo no and e wo court is under litigation so it's null and void. The fact that a will is under litigation or a lawyer ni kese me respecting the power. The fact that a will is under litigation doesn't mean its contents are null and void. Say ye twema so will when no nkyere say the content na ye null and void.
There's a content no dey e wo ho.
The content dey wo no
e say be di me ho.
Yes, but assembly dey da so wom eventually be ko obi ho.
Okay.
Ama dey wo mu no wom. But dey me kan say ye twe say John asi ono nko na ato aban asase ana. Say sa na ye kan no dey aye nkom obi biara wato aban asase bia ye nye. Ni Jesus yentimi ma ne clear. Say ehimfa forest ni inside and na say periphery lands no. Peripheral lands na ye can which is which. We should know. Because you see any say 2 months and your sister John wawu obi susu wu and memory that you keep it intact. And why so cry na they will ne buy. Say lawyer ni know whoever say court to know and also so cry you be private because you are now share manatons as in a way. Whoever allowed those lands to be sold, I ye and crata man, see if you show me no one you hold you ye propaganda na ye de nam hon. Because any say John Kwan after a government land. Ye den no timi to ye hwan na man na kwan and ye see old family. Old family na aton asase say ye pese legalize ma wo. Ultimately through an EI. That is an illegality that you want to legalize. Because a whole nyina a friend say Achimota Forest. Then say John as Forestry Commission penyimu onya kwan etimi to sansasen if truly it is true say what. Who gave it out to him to the extent to say our confidence or the asheni will mu. Ade epesi ehun no will na wo ho na say eni ho. So obi nye opportunity na so task asibia we no ntimi nka say identity no toy den no timi to obi na ton ma no why na ton ma no why na man who receipt because of their share will mu their man for their net timi so nim say ne dia wato it means ne ye ton nkrofo oje ana ono so akotobi because of buy na nka ya protect no a anka nya de obetimi aye den awuram. And me believe say emra so say ye jai government properties. Uko cantonments, uko laboni, ya ton nine nyina. Kwame Nsroma je say 9 si ho no je si ho say ye public housing. Ekuro bia wo public housing. Ekuro bia e wo public housing. Oji si ho to asase no free ahemfo no ho. So they ba ma public service workers. But eno be kokko area ho say the omo ton krampa omo kan say wo ton na wo de si high rise buildings na obi anya babia at the end no they sold it to individuals. Senti musi enne say John awu da hoyi Some also what to assassinate ya, some obi bia what to government land beyond famra.
The best possible, sir.
Now, I don't know the end there, say, no, and what dear my will name Yajuma. Because all my talk from Dantiko, your ho. Almost crumpa, all my tongue, the Kwame Nkrumah factories. I want my top factory say, Binum dia be before fra, your castle say diversity chose, then I won't man find it. I been my just as an after way, almost the idea of opening in necessity because a government there.
Minority force are buying and set a committee be a independent body. On be sure more quite pa, nay, who crepa a woman.
Yes, no quan no. Because I'm making as I see a team when this will be a near disgracing in memory, sir. Only how to defend himself. The man is not allowed to defend himself. Why are we into as I see a team committee say you shall be a problem, I take committee near Shesa Achimota forest issues nina. Because for me it is unfortunate that somebody is dead, he's gone, he's not here to defend himself. No, I hear subject matter. Maybe it's possible so yeah man so John or a lawyer new. Or a lawyer ni or toy about me say be man receipt. Why the man akonya na so wonto. Nipa kro na o man akonya me sure say wawu. Nti se wo so mo bi di mo bi a nipa kro na o ma say John akonya na so wonto. Me sure say John fa ne keke. Or a lawyer ni. Onye sa so John minim no onye sa won fa ne keke. But o you obi so I will take you of opportunity. Maybe ohun say nkrofo bi to bi no mse ne in public service wa won nkrofo ne baba be ka kire wo say MD chief adie edaho nti kokoto bi wa won nkrofo wo ma no omo ye adwuma na omo surround on and why them pass ase into ofu say ekwan da ho a na o opportunity ni to buy so obeto na omo so omo to bi wo labon ni cantonments ni omo de aye your offices ni ade ne ebinom so de asisi ayi your friends say town houses omo de rent ni nyina say your government land. Why are we making so much noise about this near ja eno ho? See a can holistically. Factories that have been sold, Kwame Nkrumah's factories that have been sold, we should talk about it and get it back and start using it as one district, one factory. We should go looking for it. Ebiane Commander Sugar Factory. It is one of the factories of Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. They say ye ni ye de ba be ye dwuma eye de be fa nipa. Nti se ye ka say John dia o wi fo nsa na wa hwe wo so wo de. Ofo ne nsa te say ayi nipa o wi ne nsa no na so ahwe nsa ekuta o. Nti I do not think say ye first say ye be twena sesa. Ye investigation. I go with the minority in parliament. Said there should be a thorough investigation into the matter. Na ye hu ba bi asem. O say
Sir John
Achimota bibia because na akofa we nyina aba Achimota asem anko ba anka Sir John asem beba Sir John really wo wu ye ne will ne say da ho ache ade na enne na akofa ba nipa ko so liki sa ade no so no anya ade me nchiama so ni asem
okay me da say
na say woni mo
na o say
omo liki they are available is public knowledge
Kofi Fred I mean mo Fred mo se be ya omompe ebedoku bia
I say so be na the man
me Facebook delegation are making I saw it on his Facebook page
but the father is
because I saw it you put it out
there your Facebook page if I
John lawyer when you're here in public and I'm saying and I make baby am who first. What is wrong with that?
No, baby, I'm the first.
How did you tell me?
You didn't say what you said. You said on the leaky, but that's what you said.
Oh, question will be said.
I said what you said.
So that's what I saw. So
that's how the right is wrong with it.
Okay,
there's nothing wrong with it.
I saw being a man on leaky on his Facebook. Yes,
Fred.
Say you're a lawyer, and you're a lawyer.
See, many Nigerians to any on this subject. On the problem, or say yebo say Jody. I am say. Ghana I see a culture and the way I nyama. Obi wu a ye kan asem so ye kan asem boni. E don't na oko eyiase na ye retributor. Ye hwe papa no kwa na ya kan ya boy nsem na ya chore ko. Oni paneti as no ye tu ni kwa na oku ni pa kra ye ko wa ye kan bi. That is what we call our culture. Say abua yo, say mbua yo. Say be ko so na sa so a is a subject we need to discuss. Sebi, you Sir John, Ghana, the we are not here. He's a very nice person you want to be with. The subject has nothing to do with his person as a John. It all has to do with a Juma Obeye, one public Obeye as a general secretary of NPP, and two as a commissioner in charge of Forestry Commission. And so we connect Ghana. Your man say onya abe Juma no be Juma. Obe declare o property access awo. Eda koto. And tell you for that when you say about appointment as a minister no. Na me wo dan too. Me wo say ni. Me wie mejuma. Na CBC na ya. Ye ko ba ko fata document ne say anya bi tam na office no. Na japade ayi na so wo. Se see we free aban mu no, ana we free adwuma ni mu no. E japade ayi na wo. Enti unya ska we na de ye we a abeka ka wonya na.
E first say we wu better operation.
Me pa cho me ba. You see,
Otias no why na dey the man no.
The first obi ewu enkyere say me de kan asem o. So aye bone a ye nja na osa.
And when they be here no say
documents will speak for themselves. The documents will speak for themselves. Say ne ko hwe say or declare na access na. So when declare what yamra. Because once you are going to occupy public office, you are supposed to declare assets.
Na say say na
ye Juma. Fred we dey Juma. Oh, Fred nipa kura so ka say Fred documents will talk. Nipa kura obo anama dey pass as no necessary you holding.
Don't forget that John was occupying a privileged position. And you be nebe boano. Lands Commission. Forestry Commission. As I said, now under his care.
Yeah.
So he has an influence. He has control. You see, I don't want to personalize this issue. It's a principle. NDC official we have stated say, Obi Bia waye bonidia Ghana mine. So ye NDC ni, so ye NPP ni, so ye CPP ni, ye fa mrakwanso. We have called for an independent committee or commission, other commissions that are by the president, a committee that are by the minister, to investigate these whole land issues. Now, you who say, Epan saying, I as a person have a basic disagreement with this thing. Ye position here or Ghana. Ye petumia. Now ye the nam ebushia fonchen, mutu abama ya, ye the musa sembi be mamo. What are we talking about? Far back in the 20s, colonial era, and the edges are said to us for the sake of our collective development. Most of those lands, other some companies were paid or were not paid. Ghana, who owes Ghana? And all free a rather bound as a CB. As a senior unites for the nation, it's for our collective good. You see school, you know, and Banam school. You see hospital, and Nembane hospital, and the coho. Yes, you man say, and young man own for so. And say, I don't make me say, I just said that told the baby be their born mine. None man say, Ebi abe yet so. Ye need force, ye need vision. Ye mean fine, yes, I didn't know. The only option we have is say, give it back to the so-called family. Give her the so-called. I said this thing on the last week, last one so. Says as I say, we is a winner, a connivance between politicians, between judges, between lawyers, between businessmen, land commission, and all the affiliate bodies. Sorry. And a complete connivance. And we are stealing from the nation. Unim, I know, all of us knows it. Me to make a video with Ukada said, there are people within my party, and we need to put a stop to it. We need to put a stop to it. They deliberately connive, they plan, they scheme. The family fair demanded for about 98 acres of land. By the time one said Jack, they've given a reason, I moved to 108. From that point, 190, 200 something, now more over 300.
And so we demanded 90.
Family look be some say eventually. Say about the family be existing. I don't say any more one. I ain't common jay. Unkani never him. And so we the politicians, the businessmen, the big people in society, they connive and they steal from the state. And then yet area now you really pay for market, a big obium. For recreational activities, say if you have sports activities, as I said, be a new obium, you see there's basa. Politicians, we are not helping this country. We must be truthful to ourselves. and stop behaving the way you are behaving. We are such a near the coin. And now, Kwawanya are sending na, Unkwasi are dining na, and now the coin.
Offer cantonments, offer labonia,
the coin. Yes, I say. And I did that to Abuja. See, also be a will
airport lands.
Because tribal of their mom crowd, they don't even enjoy it. Because nature uphold those things. Nature uphold those things. As much as I say, wait, let us set up a committee to investigate it. You'll be surprised to come out. I have just cited a press statement that was released by the Ghana Traditional Council. Said they are going to set up a committee to go into this issue. Why should we even have to wait all the way to that place? I think on this platform and one other platform, I was hearing another family from Osu who are saying, say, the Munim family be from Owu family.
What's it by now? Be a Mekasai.
So even from Osu, there are 2 or 3 families now that are fighting. Say they are the real owners of the land. Why should government give land to anybody in the first place? The land was supposed to be a forest. The land is still a forest. So why do you give it back to the other family you call a family? Who is that family? And as soon as they collect the land, no matter to and they are private people. Go and find out the beneficiaries of those lands.
With the NRA crowd, now it's how for Bakubi a press conference, and I think say,
oh, Nino,
do wona oh, on just say oh for no a 3.
So one
the Bakuna says one day I bind negotiating until the other 2 O's.
So what
kind of confusion is it?
Then there should be a committee.
So it's unfair to all of us. This thing started from President Kufuor's time, through Professor Mills' time, Professor Mills, President Mahama, Nana Akufo those time.
The President Rawlinson count.
No, this Achimota particular it has gone through all these governments. And as I said, people connive.
People said that assassin
at every point in time they'll give. Last week now I was telling you, said me, I was present in 2002. Assassinated that in front of Christian Village, Achimota, all the way to Eko Jimpa, baby and the commissioner. You see, they sold it for a song. A man for Paki or Mukas near China, we had the 1 plot, we had the 2 plot, and they sold that at 8,000 Ghana cedis. That's how they sold the land.
That's 80 million.
80 million.
Yet, Channel Basa, the same thing to Atraco land. Land I walk at Training College, Trinity. The same thing happened. Why are we doing to ourselves? Maybe a Ministry of Foreign Affairs here. You know that land to the same thing here. Professor Ames came and said,
your friend is an international students
hostel.
They were going
to sell it. The same thing, they sold it. They said among politicians. We know that people who benefit from that land. It took Professor Ames to say that, no, this land will not go. And then they are still ministry, they are still no. And we all not benefit from it. And local cantonment, government bungalows. Yes, yo, bungalow no, Ketikuado, and I said, I said, no, they are told them will be Ketikete. No, so I could will be in dollars. That's the bottom near AC apartments. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And it's not happening only here in Accra, across the whole country. And I see and I bedra, near the Bay man yourself. Yes, as one be. So why should I come here and come because I'm an NDC? Maybe one year be now, unya be here. So why should you become a city and defend at all costs?
Makasa, what I was saying.
Why did you preempt what I was saying like Facebook? Oh, me no, I mean, yeah. And we say you go and find out those who are the beneficiaries.
But in the fact, the whole na make a choice. I didn't think na Obia GB. Na yadi anyesi Obia wusu. Because Obia investigating you. Obia wa GB.
And that is the position of National Democratic Congress. Omanpenina should set up a commission of inquiry to this Akimota land. Non-partisan. Who is answering questions every minute? No, should have a committee. Non-partisan, let the chiefs be there, let the media people be there, let the experts from the land commission and the rest. They have
and the whole family for the
those who manche, the gun manche, their people should be present. Not your investigation, and you'll be surprised what is happening. You'll be surprised what is happening. So why are we doing this to ourselves? You have fun from us. I say, go so I send it my all the time. Next, you're not better than this. So I can't say, you can read. What? Time, I think that we are not being fair seriously to this country. Now, one of the work I want you to do as a media quietly go to this area we are talking about. I don't know how count them, find out where you're on there, where you'll be surprised.
As some way, you can say, be actually the near boy. ye be di akira ta wasem a opom bra ye be hunu se no kore bi e wasem no mu pa ye be di akira pa Nicholas Ohene say oh Fred, I salute you this morning. This is the truth. This is the truth I want to hear. You are real. You are a good politician. I've believed you this morning. God bless you. Kwadwo Amuakun or say, in fact, Mr. Fredagbanyo is speaking today as a mature patriotic man. Yeah, that's it. Game Boy GH also why this also why these things didn't happen in Papa J's administration. They know they can't. Usuru kra so bakokoto. Kwadwo Amachi also good morning. Okay. Destiny in Krabia. Okay. Also, we should also talk about Mahama building on military land. Our politicians and the rich are our enemies of progress. And again, Boy GH was say, I like the way the NDC guy is tackling the issue. And Nana Boachi had also power way people they chop arm like that. MPP, this is not what you said you will do. Okay. Yeah, sure. For no, 30 seconds.
I don't know where this news is coming from. As a land commissioner saying, say, Omako Chekeno, almost as a John, Oachimota land.
And also, yeah, somebody.
Some of the lands were his name. Others with some other person.
Yes.
Others in the names of companies. So the first I'll share on a doesn't mean that doesn't own any land there. So what argument is that?
Okay,
say the owner will own a company.
Say so I think be on to make us all the move.
It needs to be interrogated.
Yes, sir.
Dedika. Many aba and I have a dream. And some can be a fast John there. And I say this not because Sir John, your MPP, na me fan can say baby be or say yenyan to was here. Sensationalism no yados. Emotional blackmailing yados. Yes. What to say be obi to asase Wachimota Forester. It doesn't look good. But also ye bisa ye ho say Wachimota Forester and kasa na ye kan wasem na and changing. We can establish these facts. Emere ben e no to asase and also you bet me Eddie sound common. What I say? And non thing no, I think say ye din komo bi wo ha, we have to be careful. Acquisition of government land is not illegal. Say bia wo hu aban asase na opese wo to a unti amra umbumra. In fact, aban ton asase ma government will lease a land to you for 50 years. So you don't buy government land. Government leases the land.
So then after 50 years,
it goes back to government.
Then after
50 years, you
back buying.
Not just who said
to
but me person me establish say you didn't come.
No, sure.
Me person me chair say be a mimi Kofi Ameya. Me ana wo eja wo hu aban asase. Na say o pese oto a ye fe na allocation. Oye application Eco Lands Commission. Na wa aye site no plan no. Wa ka say obi a me hu eye asase we. Miami investigation. You can do an independent one. Now what they call Lands Commission and apply for it for it to be leased to you. And to say ultimately yes and as a find that one government will ask you to pay for it. No what you are. What I say. To me say you establish that fact. The only part that ABI ethical and it say yeah manyo sem. Yeah your privileged position and opportunity. So for example ABI me yeah manyo say na minimum penifo ntino. Wo no akotete obabi say Abayasa as be that baby, no akoto. Ebia, who a journalist, no, you don't have that privileged information. Ebia, minya or twan de or makola. Ebia, we want as be crana so waiting at toi. On kote, is and say, some information is not available to. On that score, I agree, say, and yard papa. So let's make it clear, say, Obin air qua, Abayasa, sia, and your bonnet. It might be unethical for a politician. And in fact, as some way, Ebia could call to that. Okay, maybe openya ono so nya ne baby ko Jacob Bilamte ekwa to asase bia Nilante Vanderpool edi credo ko to mu se o ma ne nko what as e ma ne nko o ma e court e ma court di e ko pem se asase na oto no mra kwan so ntie fa na asase man what as so yemfa san komo no yemfa so but adeba ko na mesre admitting say sometimes no your privileged position no our unfair advantage no politicians yen kan hu say sisi a baby a ye wo no timamufu ejidi omuwo ye mu no ehwan pa enti yanam ntuo bia ye tu empo ye ti ase anampo ye kono ye make sure say gidie no omunya because Ghana for mire bi nya gidie wo soja abamu ankosu yo mo hwe omunya gidie wo judu amamwo mu for almost 30 years. So our actions and inactions no should not erode their confidence in the political system. Because the political system, democracy no, is the established system of governance. Papa. What I say, you don't want to go into the other ones. Intimacy, say bibia ye bia no. Yen Ghana ni no ho. And the mutobia ye to be in our acquisition of properties. Any the ye nyina no. Yen dwen say ochina bi say mini ho. Ana say empo say ekoba epia bonten say ebi akofia miaw. Na no na minu ne di gobe. Ana say bi face the wall of baby. Within 4 or 5 years, and when you are tam say, I don't think say it paints a right picture. Even though it might not be the situation, say, ebi a wakobo chrono and now why you corrupt. It probably might be say a adumbi and a dum war. But ni na echi no Ghana for so omotin sem. Omuhu nyom de ekoso. And no better ni akoto a dan ewo is legon. Ama maybe ni ade ni na Ghana for they pay attention and they listen. So mesre eya manyo say and eya manyo sem say you maybe because already the fact that you are doing politics you are giving some advantage be a prestigious now know me to call same man temo and when you are there the kind of people who approach you man for and for me that is enough what I say because a Japadian prayer edibakwa consider I'm not saying say that's the case for Penia when you are because now NDC for sama o mabisa no incomodium de ban and I watch Minya Penny Fred and I mean who tells I read the amount for Barnabas what
let me read it
people say text you already your Barnabas now can you the reality is that it's hypocritical because some time ago so where was Fred and Fred started political communication no
Papa is personalizing it. I've always been against this and the word go.
Oh wait, I'm about to ask a question. 2013-14 Mahama administration released portions of the land and in fact found investors say ecotourism. What did you say about it? No, I'm asking you a question. What did you say about it? That's what I'm asking you.
Should I tell you?
For Bonamibia, you come in. No, you come in. Then the second point. The same NDC that's making this call. Around the same time, said the Fred Admiti and Comodiano, a free or Mampeni Kufu Abanso, ABC, John Dramani Mahama Abanso, Abanso, ABC, and another Danko Kufa, His Excellency Abanso. Now the question really is that at that time, when I Nkomodieni cost now, I'm releasing portions of the land, bare 118 acres. And again, called for investment. To the extent say a cut it short, and the president was there, President John Dramani Mahama. I'm asking the NDC, what did they say?
And how many acres?
118. Right.
They say, what did they say? Around that time, Penny John Dramani Mahama, a releasing assassin be my whole family, no, and also found investors. So I'm for a Hong Kong ecotourism, no. Again, NDC for
ecotourism. I'm saying, assassin, how many? We say 118 acres.
Yeah, the momo.
And now, ecotourism.
The momo,
and now, we say ecotourism. Maybe no being tiasi.
Ecotourism, ebia forest or no, na kwaye mu no. Ye be pe ebia baby e betina ahome ye be see ebia bibi recreational center bi na what I say sebi we obi a wakọ New York City da ye free baby Central Park bibi sa pepe na ete me Kofi Ame I support it Oh yes. Say Achimota Forest no, yetimi redevelop to say the area of Central Park, our Kobenya baby atna, Oka Kodjo ho, ebi mu kra ekomika or ya street kakra o.
Na wo say mo bi kra o ho a ko hwehwehwe ne
so bi o tourist attraction and comfort bar New York City yes.
Na nya no bi na mama ba be ye wo hai.
Exactly the point. Exactly the point. But I'm saying that around that time, you know, what was the discussion? Because yes, can say there was an attempt by Mahama administration. The answer said now. And we have made it clear the executive instrument, 154. Set portions of air forest now, you are reserving for ecological purposes, and more beyond fansanka. And more beyond. So why are we neglecting these facts and then go along with this sensationalism? And as if say, I buy to the extent say, Obi or civil society. Or organizations newbie and they are to Achimota Forest and they are to Achimota Forest and I believe strongly say and young komwa eboa and this if we call no ma calling no for me I don't think say
who share the nanka kanama penny Mahama kama penny Mahama person or dey sa assassin ye ecotourism kan wasem any say di akokodi ankronkron semu a no di anama pena da Mahama de baba ye me to wase but me so be bisa me no ayi di anka pena da Mahama epese ode sa ho no ye yemfa ne sese sampo a ode pese ode ho no ye any say di akokodi ankronkron semu no difference woman
Mama ye nyoma me nu ebio enkomo no kopim say all say science ni bi peripheries and now they war and change the peripheral so mo kan say and won afiafia ho yemfa my busuafo no
omo de mo
oh to
the question
you also have to
18 no bisa say de mo
aba ye continue ye to aso ya to ankomodie so ya be to aso na ye I am saying that two ways two forms I know the other na ye nka ho asem and in fact the minister lands honorable Abujinapo he says he will support an ecotourism Achimota for it. So that means as government because
until what then do you bring it in say I
am talking about the hypocrisy of the NDC. Now raise two issues. I say you are neglecting it. One, the nay the assassin be a member of ecotourism. Tobo. The yeah, buy a better
okay, but I need
and I'm saying that any exercise, any attempt, action be an animal to be a cost be an animal to a ya better as
first one, no.
What I say,
and
I'm saying that around that time, the same incommodate a course one. I don't think NDC for raise issues.
Who said we did it? What did he say?
You didn't raise these
issues. You were there. You were not in Ghana, so you didn't know what
was going on.
Now
when you told me and
told
the good people of this country,
said,
no government ever has talked about terrorism publicly. I showed you proof. So you are lying.
I never said what you are saying.
You said it.
You are misquoting. I never said no government.
You said it. You said it.
I never said you said it. You are selective hearing.
I'm not
selective. That's your problem.
You said it.
Should I give you ear back? From your ear.
NDC for.
That's what he is saying.
Tell me, and I'm on two calls to say, Yemfa. Achimota Forest, any ecotourism. Na ebi also yemfa ebi emma ebusuafo no. Me pese o kire yen wa ha and the omoka fa when the omoka say yen set a committee to look into Achimota Forest. Let's see it.
Me that's it. You know, o pese obisa o say sana 118 na say akodi 300 and something. No na mo pese yen enquiry say hu no kure wo mu na say.
Eja ka ba hwe.
Yes sir.
Me nua frɛ. Enemy etia. The
future of this country,
the future of this country belongs to us. Yeah, na nanom ne papa no mo na mo te so mo ye na mo.
Friend, just as sensational conversation emwa.
Never anybody can Ghana asema. So you are being sensational. You say you are being hypocritical. When I was making my submission, I was very clear, say, regardless of who is involved, NDC, MPP,
and then the one
do you know that thing he said in the past?
Fred, and then
you just admitted President Mahama, when this information came to his knowledge, also, Forest Nedahano, at the park. Colonial Days Stone, 1927, and they did 2 of Ghana. And son of Ghana, Cabana found there. The son that's here, you find your ecotourism. Ebe Brasika, as for mine. One can say a concha Emma. One can say a family. Reports now every president before time 2007. ebaye and preservation 2011 2013 committee na set up independent people na can say omo tie nsem ni nyina awie ye no they think says give them compensation of 118 acres of land no enye hwe ejo fa chenchen ni samom part of the issue is that land was not even released to the family then between 2013 basically in 2022 I mean you can say the land has moved from 118 to over 300 acres. Two, the EI now my penny general Juma. This EI is from the law, the act that was passed in from the cap 157, which was passed in 1927. And no one of my deny this EI net said the periphery of the land. Edima Ebusiafo, and whatever at you. On my opinion, free said in 2016, a new law was passed by Parliament and Naka 2 mina on my peninsula to hold the land in trust of the country. Now has been given to Parliament. But he refused to make reference to that particular law of 2016 and decided to go to for the colonial law to be the one in charge of the land, and its minister by the stroke of pen can determine how the land of the nation must be used. And you are not concerned about it.
Okay, me that's
and you don't care.
Nana, me say my Kofi Kase say na mampenda da mahama e no so the ecotourism and on Bukria so or just New York we be or why sa ade ne bi o
yes you know investor na investor no ato anaso nto what are the negotiations me dey ohun mienu nyina ecotourism no mo ye ne memfo aso but ansa na meto aso no
omo nye bi omo ton ye na sia ke be ko
friend
CPP flag bearer aspirant lawyer Bright Equity.
The
man is brilliant. Jesus.
A flag bearer aspirant, a lawyer Bright Equity. Yewe bompaye na nyame ayeden waboa no na wetimi abeye da be lift the image of the Conventions People's Party na wedi enim e de yakọ power 2024 na yetimi asesa ekuroi ene de yekoso ne ene yesore ya yesisi yesore ya
na we executive
just executive of the party.
Why are you supporting it?
Me support wo e minipa.
Oh, no,
Madam,
is that lawful?
That me papa na near fan be me papa no na.
Me the family home.
Na we party mo.
What better about the chairman?
I want to support you.
Executive of the party.
Masa jadi okay. We are go back me to party jana me ko. Me wo ye me papa, nti me papa no person nti se me timi bo na baso. Eno de emfa ho. The first time me born about so in church. Aha, we cover ba me no okay.
Okay, then
the point is that me nua bema me support omo mienu bi omo so omo be ye ecotourism. Si yesi be ye ecotourism am menye sure say investor bi na e de ma no.
Yeah, yenye ade.
Yenye ade. Si enti menye ade yenya no se na esiti ho no saa. Eho na ewo ho no, eye nerve of the nation. Empire koso inside forest hon. Se wo slogan the battle is the Lord's. Onyankopon ne kun won fa ye friend spears any guns empire. MPP slogan was the battle is the Lord's. And no mudi gina so say ekun no wonyame ani.
No monim Lord.
Otimase. Intini say ene ba bia yetimi bom paye. Ya bompa ye ma country ekoba bia sa terrorism ni adinya onyankopon setimi bemu ma bibia dadin eho na apaibo ekoso ntimi mi hu adekro nti a wo mienu nyina se edu time e be ye election a wo mo si nyame
ami wo mo ti ade so me fa yen frafra kan kasi o mani ye ni situ
da be se me makada
the
battle is the Lord empaibo Inti mpaibo ekoso wo hon eni so bia de nsa kasa ticket na esi won forest na esi because ene na boga na echidom ye wo places be bia ye bompa ye kokumasi e bi wo kinus wo ba ha se ya ayi botanical gardens legon mpaibo koso wo ko ho hu kasa esi ho aha mpaibo koso sa places si ene bog country na echidom because situation a yewo mu sese ni ohia ne komi astela no ye gina ho se ya obia wotimi se obi e ko eso kama but edin no na chese ensebi
Oh yes.
Ewo yeso. The sansa no wontimi mfa sika ento. Sika bebrebe aba krom hai. Say like yes how dey akwakoye eco tourism sika so yes dey be kan. Me dey be nyintum. Omo mienu nyina wa pese oye eco tourism bia mpacho mo match Mota Forest entena ho. Mo ma forest bia because the way I na eko no is as if you say a president betimi aka na asesa forest bia ni dibre. O kan ya say forest we nye forest bio.
O say forest near.
What you say?
Yes, but the EI 144.
Me bacho what kind?
That right.
What kind? Inti no forest no me e Kristo ni na me jitu so Onyankopon wo hwe ye so. Empire na ekoso wo ho no. Eno na eboy e ka ho bi na eboy yen. Because empire na ekọ ho no individuals na konante kokko jam me ko obi ukwa nipa wo bi atiem utie nkrofo mpa bo mo bom paye magana. So if you say the battle is the Lord sir a grounds are eye Nyankopon ba bia ye bom paye umfa wo sanka.
Okay. Nana ya John Chobi dan se papa na anope na Kofi New York police form slogan ye den
it depends. State via police.
It's in New York.
New York.
Oh, yeah, New York.
I
think
the whole
service something.
So and then you normal can see something,
I
say something.
haven't seen that.
I want to make a bisa.
Me say me Google share me who be bisa enter na me bisa.
And I
want to go here every day.
Me kasa I brofo da ho.
If you see something,
I know I brofo.
It's a New York police slogan to the public.
Nicholas
of 9/11.
Nicholas Ohene say ayi se or kanfo Fred Agbonwa no pay a anye say bia or kanfo no say or kanfo no keke na mu no dia work no eye no kore enu ti na work san say Ghana for bre na amanyofo edi de nti so kanfo na se nyina tumi ka no kore ti sa na anke bitumi aboa yi papa na na ya me da so ati
my papa me say Japan or US or show
me say Japan yo me da na se pa
me da se
na Kofi nso me da se yo me so be di aja kwabra na mo no Linda Osaya Koto wo USA na fe Abigail Nyanta nso wo ye Kumasi na ye mu nyina ma woda ye ma mo happy birthday pa me obi say ye
Mr. Kofi say nyama e ko so Ghana na US not no
because obi say yen ton Ghana asase no yen twetwa ne yen che no obi anko ne baabi wona ne ya adwene sa
ebi so ne so jaze ebi so ne so
adom ye ya
o ma fu ni
na ye behia na ya to adwuma die no so ya kra mo da mu nyina ase ama mo ne hwe